went to Wedgewood almost every day for at least 2 summers, and we got to know all the people that did the rides. And so sometimes we got to ride them for free. But I remember that something that twirled around, and so we got on it. We said, don't spin us very much, okay? Because we'll get kind of sick. And they just spun us till you just didn't feel good the rest of the day.
I guess my favorite would have been the roller coaster, which was called the Tornado. It was built in 1959. I know that because I was 6 years old. And I was the first kid to ride it. After it was built, my father took me to ride the thing, even before my 2 older sisters got to ride it.
They had dances out there. We'd go to dances out at Wedgewood every weekend.
So one of the things that Ann Glenn wrote was that she ran dances out at Wedgewood, and that you brought food, Sandra. You brought some food to the dances. She mentioned some other people too that ran the dances out there.
Did we get paid?
She did. She did. I don't know. Maybe she just suckered you into helping.
Actually, it started as a driving range. My father, Maurice Woods, was a professional golfer. And when he had a family, he retired from the golf tour and opened a driving range in Oklahoma City where he was giving golf lessons. And then that kind of expanded. He added originally just a couple of rides, a kiddie merry-go-round and some other kind of ride, to keep the kids occupied while Dad was, taking his golf lessons. And then the rides proved very popular and began to sort of eclipse the golf lessons. And so more rides were added, but again, all very small kiddie rides. And this was, I think it was on May Avenue somewhere, but I'm not sure about that. And this property out on the Northwest Highway became available at the time, in 1958. There was nothing out there. And so my father bought 35 acres and began building what became Wedgewood Village Amusement Park.
In 1961 or 62, the summer of those years, I can't remember which year, but the Beach Boys came out to perform at Wedgewood. At that time, they were just getting started, so they didn't have a big group of fans following them around. We were out there, my friends and I, and we ended up sitting at a table with them in the restaurant, and we were just talking and acting silly and Googling over them, and I got up to go say something to a friend at the end of the table. When I came back, my best friend Sandra pulled the chair out from under me, and I fell flat on my behind, and everybody got a good laugh out of it. I even laugh, and I still am. It's a great memory.
She still remembers it. That's what gets me.
So it would be a wild atmosphere because, people would come by the thousands to pack in and hear these concerts, and it was mostly just standing. There wasn't seating, so people would stand and listen to these concerts. There were lots of big names. We had the Kingsmen when they were big. Their big hit was Louie Louie. And we had the Who, Herman's Hermits, when they were very hot. And because my father owned the park, I was very fortunate to be able to meet all of them